Yo, thank you very much for grabbing the course. And if you're watching from the YouTube membership, appreciate y'all too. So today we're gonna be going over how to mix an entire R&B song, the mastering, the lead vocal, creating harmonies, creating ad libs, mixing the beat. It's gonna be very exciting, and I'm happy that y'all here with me. All right, so let's get to it. We're gonna show y'all how to get that Windex clean clarity, okay, from throughout the whole entire song, and breaking down a lot of R&B secrets that I learned from especially Chris Brown, but this can apply to any other R&B artist, that modern type of sound. So let's not waste no time. Let's get to it right now, and I'm gonna play the whole track, and then we're gonna start going over the lead vocal.
It's after hours, baby girl, with some moves, shawty. You're the only one to shift my mood, shawty. Looking like the pin and not the loop, shawty. Been a long time when I'm next to you, shawty. Now you're easing through my mind, can't press pause, oh no. Got me tripping all the way that you are. Whisper something that'll knock me off guard. Then you smile like you know what you got. So you don't fall easily, girl, that's cool. But the way you looking at me, breaking all the rules. Moving slow, but your body got a different tone. Saying we coolin', but the way you touchin', feeling grown. Can you freak on the low? Do it fast, keep it low. Talking, let's do it more. Since I put you on, but your lip and you put me closer, girl. You don't even gotta talk, I feel your intent. Closer than close, girl. The message missing in one little glimpse, yeah. I'm already in. You the only one that got me like this. It's at the hours, baby girl, with some moves, shawty. You the only one to shift my mood, shawty. Looking like the pain and not the lose, shawty. Been a long time when I'm next to you, shawty. Now you're easing through my mind, keep it bold, so now got me tripping all the way that you are. Whisper something that'll knock me off guard. Then you smile like you know what you got.
Okay, so a really dope song that is gonna be able to showcase us throughout how you get that modern radio ready type of sound. All right, so I noticed a lot of times with the guy like Chris Brown. Chris Brown is who really inspired me to do this course, because I know with Chris Brown, bro, and Tizio, like, he be snapping on his mixes, bro, and I feel like his mixes, Chris Brown allows Tizio to do some weird and wacky stuff. So that's why I wanted to do like specifically a Chris Brown style. And this artist, he sounds very almost identical to Chris Brown. Okay, so we're gonna go over the lead vocal now. So what should I do, guys? Should I isolate the beat? Maybe not really, I don't know, but you guys see how my session is set up, just for the people who want to see it. Usually the mastering chain is at the top. Okay, then you're gonna have the beat stems, then you're gonna have the lead vocal, you're gonna have the harmonies, and then you're gonna have the doubles, and then you're gonna have all the little one-shot ad-lib effects. So there's a lot of shit going on right here, but that's just more gems for you to get. Okay, that's just more cookie, that's just more candy in the jar, you feel me? All right, so we're gonna snap on this today. I think I'm gonna mute the doubles, I'm gonna mute the harmonies, and a lot of times with Chris Brown style stuff, the lead vocal, it's almost like the lead vocal is built, the mix is built around the lead vocal, all right? So you wanna make sure your lead vocal is very pretty. It's like a beauty pageant, that bitch gotta look good, you feel me? So this is how I always set it up. If I do have like a throw or anything like that, I put it right here towards the bottom, but most importantly, the lead vocal.
It's after hours, baby girl, with some moves, shawty. You the only one to shift my mood, shawty. Looking like the pain and not the loop, shawty. Been a long time when
For now, let's just not have the beat, okay? Let's just not have the beat so we can hear the basis of the foundation, all right? The most important thing is using spiff. Like, I always use this on R&B vocals because there's always gonna be some type of artifact, some type of, some type of clicking and popping.
it's after hours, baby girl, with some moves, shawty. You the only one to shift my mood, shawty.
So imagine the spiff to be kind of like Neutrogena. You feel me? It's popping some of the way the pimples. It's taking off the ugliness. It's like a plastic surgeon. It's taking off all the nasty little molecules on the vocal, which is the mouth clicks. So for R&B music, this is great because right before you hit your auto-tune, if you declick, you will make your auto-tune sound smoother.
Yeah, now you're easing through my mind, can't press pause. Oh no, got me tripping on the way that you are. Whisper something that'll knock me off guard. Then you smile like you know what you got.
All right, and then after that, we use the split S, the very essential split S. When you couple the split S with mastering grade de-esser, this will help you get the smoothest possible type of vocal. So usually with the split S, I just leave it on the default preset and it will manually clip gain down your vocals for you, kind of doing the de-harshing process. So imagine if you're cooking a pair of ribs, like if you're cooking barbecue ribs, just the fact that you kind of already marinated it, you kind of already took off the bones, you took off some of the fat, it makes the process, which is the vocal chain cooking, easier.
Yeah, now you're easing through my mind, can't press pause. Oh no, got me tripping that you are. Whisper that you are.
So it's really good. And this plugin is amazing because now I've kind of put myself in a position to win. So let's bring the beat back, okay, a little bit. We're going to move through the verse now. And I like to, whenever you create a vocal chain for R&B, always go through all out the song. Be like a tour guide, you know, spin the block. Be like an Uber driver. Go through the whole neighborhood, which is the entire song, and listen to everything. Make sure like the whole chain sounds good. Let's actually bypass the whole chain and we're going to start from scratch. The first plugin is going to be a limiter. I love using limiters with the way they control stuff.
When you don't fall easily, yeah, that's cool. But the way you looking at me, breaking all the rules. Moving slow, but your body got a different tone. Saying we coolin', but the way you touch and feeling grown.
Actually, let's hear it without the whole chain first.
When you don't fall easily, yeah, that's cool. But the way you looking at me, breaking all the rules. Moving slow, but your body got a different tone. Saying we coolin', but the way you touch and feeling grown. Can you freak on the low? Do it fast, keep it low. Talking less, doing more. See, stop what you want. When you don't fall easily, yeah, that's cool. But the way you looking at me, breaking all the rules.
So this vocal chain right here has kind of got everything feeling like butter, to be honest. It's really got it feeling like butter, all right? And let's look at how we were able to get that buttery Chris Brown type of modern R&B sound, all right? The first thing that we are going to attribute, you know, some of the things to is going to be the Faraday limiter. When you use a limiter, you're putting yourself in a situation to win because it's going to just kind of be like that school teacher that's kind of controlling everything for you a little bit better, all right? So with the limiter, I'm only trying to ever tap it about 1 to 3 dB and it will keep it under control.
When you don't fall easily, yeah, that's cool. But the way you looking at me, breaking all the rules. Moving slow, but your body got a different tone. Saying we coolin', but the way you touch and feeling grown. Can you freak on the low? Do it fast, keep it low. Talking less, doing more. See, stop what you want. Watch your lip and you pull me closer, girl. You don't even gotta talk, I feel your intent. Closer than close, girl. The message missing in one little glimpse, yeah.
So with the limiter, you always want it to be like a thief in the night where it's just quickly snatching that, it's just quickly snatching the parts of the vocal that have too much energy, like God, bod. You know, there's certain words that are gonna have more energy than others. And now because we've kind of got this smoothing out, like when you make a pizza, you smoothing out that dough, now you're putting yourself in a position to win because you have a smooth vocal, okay, that will work through the rest of the chain. So that's why I like using limiters in the beginning. Sometimes I might use it at the end, but like 90% of the time, I use them in the beginning. Now we have this plugin right here, which is going to be the IZOTOPE, neutron plugin. And I only used it for the exciter. And I just used a little bit of saturation on the top end. And that's the thing about Chris Brown. He's always got this brightness, but it always feels dense and not skinny. And if you do boosting EQ, sometimes you get the brightness, but it feels skinny, right? So that's the good thing about using saturation in a specific spot.
When you don't fall easily, yeah, that's cool. But the way you looking at me, breaking all the rules. Moving slow, but your body got a different tone. Saying we coolin', but the way you touch and feeling grown. Can you freak on the low? Do it fast, keep it low. Talking less, doing more.
you guys also see a very basic EQ move. Very important for R&B vocals. Make sure that your slopes are always gentle. You see I'm using a 6 dB slope. So usually if you use like a 12 dB or 18 dB slope, it will change the shape of the Play-Doh. So imagine when you was in school, you was playing around with Play-Doh, you could have balled it up and made it a round bottom, or you could have made it into a square and made it a jagged bottom. So that's how I imagine the slope to be, a smooth bottom. And then just took out some nastiness and brought in a little bit of saturation. Then we have Weiss de-esser. This is very important. Using a mastering grade de-esser on your vocals will help you maintain more of the fidelity.
I was baby girl with some moves, shawty. You the only one to shift my mood, shawty. Looking like the pain and not the lose, shawty. Been on 10 when them names to you, shawty. Now you're easing through my mind, keep it OZONE. Got me tripping on the way that you are. Whisper something that'll knock me off guard. Do you smile like you know what you got?
So that's the part of the split S, and also the limiter as well will take off a little bit of zing off of certain harsh words. So that's the really good thing about it, because now you hear I'm hitting 6 dB, 5 dB, and you still feel that clarity. And that's the most important thing about Chris Brown. You want to feel smoothness, but you don't want to hear the sound of a clamping de-esser. And that can happen oftentimes if you don't put a split S, or you actually take out some of the mouth clips and do all that hard work from before. Okay. And then we have the TubeTech CL1B. I only use that thing to get brightness. It's damn near like another saturator, another EQ move, staying consistent with that tube style saturation seasoning, that jerk seasoning that we're throwing on the ribs right now, which is going to be the lead vocal.
I was baby girl with some moves, shawty. You the only one to shift my mood, shawty. Looking like the pain and not the lose, shawty. Been on 10 when them names to you, shawty. Now you're easing through my mind, keep it OZONE. Got me tripping on the way that you are. Whisper something that'll knock me off guard. Do you smile like you know what you got? I was baby girl with some moves, shawty. You the only one to shift my mood, shawty. Looking like the pain and not the lose, shawty. Been on 10 when them names.
Artists like Chris Brown, they'll often use a tube microphone, maybe like a Telefunken 251, or something along the lines of, maybe a tube compressor, like a TubeTech CL1B. Those things are contributing to why they have so much brightness without any of the harshness, because they're not using EQ, they're taking advantage of the components. So you might not be able to afford those plugins, or you might not even be able to afford the actual equipment, but just by understanding the saturation curve and stuff like that, you can, apply that same type of flavoring to your songs with that same type of, understanding the plugins type shit. All right, so let's look right here.
It's after hours, baby girl with some moves, shawty. You the only one to shift my mood, shawty. Looking like the pain and not the lose, shawty. Been on 10 when them names to you, shawty. Now you're easing through my mind, can't press pause on got me tripping on the way that you are. Whisper something that'll knock me off guard. Do you smile like you know what you got? So when you don't fall easily, girl, that's cool. But the way you looking at me,
Very important C4 pop vocal preset. Enough said. C4 pop vocal preset, the way it just rips out mid-range, it gives that Chris Brown, that texture, okay, that wide open mid-range that you'll hear with people like Bryson Tiller and stuff like that. And the fact that I flattened out the mid-range, now it kind of opens things up for the rest of the family and the rest of the friends who want to come to the party, which are going to be the harmonies, the doubles and stuff like that. Because most of the times with doubles and harmonies, you're going to be ripping off low end, you're going to be ripping off high end. It's just mostly mid-range that those things are going to be reinforcing. And that's why, the C4 pop vocal preset is great, because it opens the door to letting those immigrants, which is the ad-libs and all the stuff like that, which is mostly mid-range energy, have a little bit of space to fit into the house, okay, for the party. Then we have the RVox, and that just brings some mid-range density. So it's mostly focusing on tube saturation with modern R&B, but still having mid-range density, okay? And I did not rip off too much low end, at this point, I've only done like this, just basic filter and this basic stuff. Because most people who sing, they don't really need to take out too much low end out their vocal, you feel me?
It's after hours, baby girl with some moves, shawty. You the only one to shift my mood, shawty. Looking like the pain and not the lose, shawty. Been on 10 when them names to you, shawty. Now you're easing through my mind, can't press pause on got me tripping on the way that you are. Whisper something that'll knock me off guard. Then you smile like you know what you got. So when you don't fall easily, girl, that's cool. But the way you looking at me, breaking all the rules. Moving slow, but your body got a different tone. Saying we cooling, but the way you touch and feeling.
So oftentimes what you can do too, if you don't trust yourself level matching, maybe you can make things lower than what they were going in. And if it sounds better, then that's how you know it actually sounds good. So you don't trick your ears with volume. Here, I just did that because the RVOX, sometimes they can make stuff sound too upfront. And I wanted it like the vocals to still like sit back in the mix. Then we use the fresh air, very important component.
You don't even gotta talk, I feel ya. You don't even gotta talk, I feel your intent. Closer and close, girl. The message missing in one little glimpse, yeah. I'm already in. You the only one that got me like this. It's at the hours, baby girl, with some moves, shawty. You the only one to shift my mood, shawty. Looking like the pain and not the lose, shawty. Been on 10 when I'm next to you, shawty. Now you're easing through my mind, can't pass balls on got me tripping.
So at that point, look at how many plugins I've already kind of had going on before I even started actually using boosting EQ. I haven't even used boosting EQ yet. Like, where have I used boosting EQ, you know? I haven't used boosting EQ yet at all. You feel me? Because the voice is already kind of has that natural brightness in it because his voice is high. So people who have deeper voices, their voice is always going to sound a little bit gray because your ears work like a seesaw. And because you hear more low end, you hear less high end. You feel me? Type of situation like that. So you pay attention. We were using saturators so far to get all of our brightness. That's how we're getting that all natural honey lime sweetness. Okay, we use the fresh air, which is not even EQ. It's just like a saturation curve. Then after this, we take out some harsh frequencies because we know we've been doing a lot of boosting and we want to get that smooth high end.
You don't even gotta talk, I feel your intent. Closer and close, girl. The message missing in one little glimpse, yeah. I'm already in. You the only one that got me like this. It's at the hours, baby girl, with some moves, shawty. You the only one to shift my mood, shawty. Looking like the pain and not the lose, shawty. Been on 10 when I'm next to you, shawty. Now you're easing through my mind, can't pass balls on got me tripping on the way that you are. Whisper something that'll knock me off guard. Then you smile like you know what you got.
So you don't see 100 million notches and stuff like that. You just see about what, 5 of them, you know? So I just pick 5 of them, not really bunched up too much, but I just do a couple of them, like 3, 4, 5 of them, and I just take out the harshness, you feel me? And I usually kind of leave it towards the end of the chain. Then we have a soothe right here just to get things to not be harsh.
You don't even gotta talk, I feel your intent. Closer and close, girl. The message missing in one little glimpse, yeah. I'm already in. You the only one that got me like this. It's at the hours, baby girl, with some moves, shawty. You the only one to shift my mood, shawty. Looking like the pain and not the lose, shawty. Been on 10 when I'm next to you.
So yeah, I just wanted to go over the lead vocal first because as I learned from Tizio and as I learned from many other R&B engineers that I've watched, the lead vocal is usually the concrete, the foundation in which everything else was built upon. Okay, it's usually the foundation that the house with the rooms and the bathrooms was built around, type shit like that. So that's why we started with the lead vocal on R&B. So sometimes you don't have to start with the beat like how it would be in rap music or another genre. You just got to actually in R&B make sure the lead vocal sounds good because the lead vocal is what you want to be most prominent. It's what you want to feature inside of the talent show. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next episode where we're going to go over the effects for the lead vocal, and then we're going to start talking about maybe the harmonies or the doubles, some of the supporting things that we had to enhance that lead vocal and put some maple syrup on top of those pancakes. See you guys next episode.